you see the engines have been fired and the cars are out taking a couple of pace laps before we go green. Gives us a chance to introduce the starting lineup to you for the Music City 150. On the inside of row 1, it's our pole sitter Sean Case and Jamie Hayes. Best qualifying effort of the season. Row 2, Matt Kobaluk, and another guy who was surprising, Ruben Pardo.
Yeah, Armando Fitz entry there. I tell you, these guys worked hard here through the heat of the day to get the right setup. Look at Jeffrey Earnhardt starting row 3 outside. Good start position for him. And also the son of Paul Andrews, Tim Andrews, best qualifying effort ever.
Yeah, he won a race last year in this series. The youngster, 17-year-old Mark Davis. Kevin Light, we'll tell you more about him. He hasn't raced very much in this series, but he'll be a threat tonight. Also, Peyton Sellers, who's having a good season in the points, is on row 5, and Joey Logano, the points leader, outside of row 5. Not the qualifying effort he wanted.
No, they've been struggling. They've not found the setup with this race car. Joey not happy here tonight. He said, I don't think I can win this race, but I've got a car that I believe I can finish in the top 5. And consistency is big for Joey Logano because he's got to win that championship. Look at the big picture.
Mike Olson and the rookie Chase Austin. And on row 7, Ryan Chu and Jesus Hernandez. John Salemi and Rogelio Lopez will make up row 8 tonight. On row 9, the only woman driver in the race, Michelle Theriault. And Herman Quiroga is back after a week off. Skip McCord, who is a local driver here, and that local knowledge can count for a lot.
Well, it does. But these cars are so different than the normal late model or super late models you run on these racetracks. They're 3,400 pounds, very heavy, high horsepower. Just a real handful to drive around these high banks.
Jerry Marquis, a modified veteran who's run in this series before, is replacing Eric Holmes this week in the 35 car. Max Dumoulin, another local driver, Nicholas Formosa, make up row 12. And on row 13, John Freeman, his second race of the season in this series. And Jonathan Smith, that's Freeman's old ride in the number 5 car. Be interested, those two starting side by side. And James Pritchard, Scott Booley on row 14 and row 15. Richard Gould and Todd Peck get provisional starting spots. 30 cars will make up the field here for the Music City 150. And I really think this is going to be a super race here.
Well, it is. And I tell you what's unusual about this race, Mike. I don't believe I talked to any drivers here today. I've asked just about 80–90% of them, have you ever been to Nashville Speedway? The answer was no. I don't believe any of these drivers in this field today, with the exception of 1 or 2, maybe Jerry Marquis or one of the other ones, that have got any laps on this racetrack in these types of race cars. So it's going to be interesting here tonight.
And there's still some chances to make up ground in the points. Take, for instance, Sean Case, who is our pole sitter tonight. He came in last week to Thompson. He was 12th in points. By winning that race, he has moved up to 5th. Mike Olson is second behind Joey Logano, 94 points away. So the points chase coming into play. With more on Sean Case, let's go back downstairs to Natalie Taylor.
You know, Sean is just getting ready to start this race, and he's already talking to his crew chief, Andy, and saying, Andy, you got to help me out this race. And I'm sure Andy's going to be very excited to help him out. Why? Well, Andy's family is in the crowd. His entire in-laws are up there on the stands tonight, all supporting Sean Case. So he definitely has a support system.
Yeah, it's great to have a little fan club pulling for you. You know, Sean Case, who will start on the inside. Now, at Thompson last week, the inside wasn't always necessarily the way to get around the racetrack, but here in Nashville, that's a different story. You want to be where Sean Case is, down there near that yellow line, don't you?
Yeah, you really do. You need to be right down on the yellow line, entering the corner. You're going to slide the nose to the center of the corner of this racetrack. We'll talk about that during the race. We'll be able to watch these cars, but you almost diamond this racetrack. If you could picture a diamond, that's exactly how you would drive this racetrack. Right to the bottom, slide the nose up in the center, get the car turned, and just mash the gas coming off, drive to the bottom off corner exit again. It's a tough, tough racetrack. You carry a lot of speed here also, so, you know, it's very, very important to maintain control of your race car. You know, we're entering some 120, 125 mile an hour on corner